We should be good, right? You see the recording thing pop up on your screen?
Yep.
All right, cool. We don't have an intro plan, but that's okay. We don't need an intro. We just need to drop bars, and that's all we do consistently.
For real.
All right, so welcome to the first episode, maybe the last, maybe the fifth. We don't know yet of the purpose-driven podcast where we're just professional yappers talking about whatever we have on our mind and whatever we can add value to society or whatever our mission is. But yeah, let's get into episode one. We're just gonna go over, I guess, our journey of what brought us from the point where we were at to starting this, and then we'll go from there and see how that goes. Let's lock in. Let's have a good time. Don't scroll on your fucking phone. You scroll on your fucking phone, you're a bitch. Use your brain, use your intention, be present, and listen because there's going to be value dropped consistently. But yeah, if you like to start off with your story, like what led you to actually doing self improvement? What was like the point where you're like, fuck, I got to actually make this happen?
Yeah, man. Great question. So I was a typical student in university,
Yeah.
and like any other university student, I just wanted to party, just wanted to have a good time, and just honestly enjoy life to the maximum potential. And
Hmm.
I came in so excited because I was really restricted as a high school kid, and I really was not able to go out and really have a vibrant social life that's important for mental health.
Hmm.
And I came into college and I suddenly had all this freedom, and I decided to take full advantage of it by living on campus for the first 3 years. And I pretty much did everything you can think of. I partied, I drank, I smoked weed, I hit nicotine, and pretty much every degenerate activity you can think of. And I enjoyed it, and I thought that that was my level. I thought that I was I found fulfillment. I thought I found fulfillment in those activities. But
Hmm.
there was one incident that changed my entire perspective uh, of how I perceive these things, and that was July of last year. I my friend is actually a DJ, and so we decided to go to one of his events. So we hopped in the car. We were driving to New York, actually. So he was DJing in New York. So there was a big event. There was like around 500 people coming to that event, and we decided to go. And at the moment, I thought it was going to be a fun night, and it was going to be one of the best nights I've ever had. I was ready to record. I was ready to have fun. I was ready to hook up with girls. I mean, I was doing everything right.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, I basically see there's a car in front of us. So I was busy rolling a joint in the passenger seat. Okay?
That's how it starts.
I was busy rolling a joint in the passenger seat, and I wasn't paying attention to him because he was driving while looking at his phone, right? And I was not paying attention. So the moment I looked up after I finished rolling, I see a car within 5 feet. And next thing you know, I see we take a hit. He doesn't have a seatbelt on. I put my seatbelt on 5 minutes before, like, starting to roll this jet.
Hmm.
And boom, the accident happened. We hit we hit one car 60 miles an hour, and then two other lanes, we hit two other cars, and then we ended up on the side of the road. That the entire car was totaled. The entire shaft, the driver's shaft, the impact was so huge. The driver's shaft detached, and it fell onto my friend's left femur. So he ended up breaking his left femur. So the views that I had after an accident, it was just he had blood all over the place. There were glass pieces just flying around, and I came out completely unharmed. Like
Hmm.
100%, nothing happened to me because I had my seatbelt on. The airbag didn't even reach my face, so I came out unharmed. but the trauma that it caused me was so impactful that it made me get nightmares. To this day, I have nightmares of that accident. And
Mm-hmm.
all I remember was my friend was about to lose his life. I was about to lose my life. I came out unharmed. He ended up fracturing his left femur. And I just
Mm-hmm.
remember the moments of that night like it was yesterday. And I remember him, I remember the ambulance literally coming to the accident site. I remember them prying open the door because he couldn't leave. That his leg was stuck under like the driver's shaft, so he could not even get out, and he was aching in pain. He was crying in pain,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm over there just watching everything happen. And because the cops, told me don't get involved. I was making sure he was good and all, giving him everything he needs. But the ambulance team, they really tried to, pry open the door and, get him to rescue. And we went to the nearest hospital, which was, we were actually driving the turnpike. So we went to the nearest hospital there, and he was getting surgery. So he got surgery the night of the accident.
Mm-hmm.
After that, I came back home, and I just, I thought to myself, and I was like, how did I even get in this situation in the first place? Like, I was not supposed to be in this situation. I wasn't, I'm, I was 20 years old at the time. And here I am, like, about to lose my life. And
Mm-hmm.
I realized that I'm heading in the wrong direction. I realized that this is not me. This is not who I am. And I started, getting nightmares, and I started journaling about really what happened. And I
Mm-hmm.
found out that it was because of my actions, and it was because I was trying to fit in socially. This was not who I am as an authentic person. It's as if
Mm-hmm.
I was living two parallel lives,
Yeah.
one at home and one at university.
And you were like taking the mask on and off depending on what area you're around.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like as if I was living for someone else and not for myself. And I
Mm-hmm.
realized that that's not the proper way to live. That's not a purposeful way to live.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I discovered self improvement. And I realized that I'm capable of so much more as a person.
Mm-hmm.
And I was able to start improving myself. I put myself to a really strict schedule, waking up early in the morning, doing cold showers, meditating, having a habit tracker. And
Mm-hmm.
those good habits and me detoxing from dopamine. I know dopamine detox was a big topic back in the YouTube days. Now it might not be, but dopamine
Mm-hmm.
detox is one of the most essential things you need in your life for you to completely turn your life around. I mean, my life was at the bottom. And
Mm-hmm.
by me doing dopamine detox and self improvement, I drastically changed the trajectory of my life. And now I found a community, I found a brotherhood where I can engage and have high level discussions with. So that's my journey of self improvement and how
Do
I got.
you, for like the average person who was in your situation, like say they're in your situation, they were you when you were younger, but didn't have the car accident, but they can relate to what you're saying. What's your biggest nugget of knowledge that you can give that person to make them realize that they're heading down the wrong path?
That's a good question, man. I think. Hmm. What I would tell them is don't live for someone else, live for yourself. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Most of the times in university, we have this social anxiety where we want to just fit in with other people. We just want to, have fun. We want to belong. You know, It could be
Mm-hmm.
because of your past. It could be because you didn't have a social life like me in high school. It could be because, you just wanted to experience the party life, do everything you wanted to do there. And you start uh, taking other people's beliefs and making them your own beliefs,
Mm-hmm.
which is the biggest mistake that people make in university and in any environment like this, even in high school, to be honest, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that is the biggest deprivation to your self improvement and to your character as a person, because the moment you start um, taking the beliefs of someone else and putting it onto yourself and changing your views and changing who you are as a person,
Mm-hmm.
that's when you'll go down the wrong path, and that's when you will basically waste your life. So what I would tell someone who's in a similar situation, who didn't go through the accident, a younger version, I would tell them to adopt their own beliefs and subtract more than more than add beliefs. So for
Mm-hmm.
example, have a community of high like-minded individuals around you that support you for who you are, rather than you hanging around with low quality people that you just do drugs with all the time, right? And
Mm-hmm.
you think they're your friends, but in
Yeah.
reality, you're friends with the drug. You're not friends with them, right? I used to smoke
Mm-hmm.
weed with, my friends at that time, so unquote, but they were not my friends because they used to talk shit behind my back, but I used to take it like a bitch because I wanted to, get high at that moment, right? So I wanted to
Mm-hmm.
smoke weed. So I just wanted to fit in type thing. But then after what I had, after my life experience, I realized that my entire college career I was living for someone else and not for me. And that's
Mm-hmm.
what will happen if you put yourself in situations like those. You you know who you are as a person, and you know what makes you authentic as a person, and you stay like that no matter what people think, because people who truly vibe with you will appreciate you for who you are, and people
Mm-hmm.
who don't vibe with you will not vibe with you. That's completely fine, but at least you
Yeah.
have a community of individuals that share the same mindset, and will help you propel you towards your future, rather than you thinking they're your friends, but in reality they're either talking shit behind your back or you're just doing some degenerate activity with them.
Mm-hmm. Now, leading up to before you went to college, like high school, do you feel as though you did a lot of those activities just to like hide like a pain from like high school into college?
Definitely, I would say so, because for me, like I said, like I didn't have much of a social life in high school. Like I was so restricted because I come from a
Mm-hmm.
brown household, and
Mm-hmm.
if you guys are watching this, you can relate to if you can relate to being in a brown household. It's very restrictive in the sense like
Mm-hmm.
um, you can't really afford to do the things you really want to do at that moment. Your parents are really strict, and they're just at the end of the day they're looking out for you. So I didn't really have the freedom to go out, have a vibrant social life. So the moment I got to college, I wanted to kind of suppress that pain of not being social, because I was so alone. I was so depressed in high school, um, that I wanted to relieve that pain by partying, doing things that I didn't want to do to fit in, to suppress that pain of being lonely.
Mm-hmm. Definitely makes sense. Definitely makes sense. And in terms of where you're at now, like after all the experiences going through self improvement, what do you think your authentic purpose is in life from now on to that point?
Authentic purpose. It's a good question. I would say my authentic purpose right now is to help young men get through this, a similar stage like I did back in college, and make sure they adopt good habits and make sure they're heading down the right path, because I don't want them to go through the same situations that I did, because they were very traumatic. And at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, I want to serve the people and become a doctor. I came into college wanting to become a doctor, and serve the people, serve third world communities, and that's a genuine passion of mine that has been there since high school.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I just want to help people. Like my main authentic purpose is to help as many people as possible and actually make an impact on the world.
Great. I love it. I love the mission. That's authentic. That sounds real. Sounds passionate. It's where you're headed now currently. I guess, how would I explain this? For people who were in the point of like loneliness, like, because it's also good, like, wise people learn from people who've made mistakes. So if you were able to get in like a time machine and go back to the high school version of yourself who had the lonely life and all that, how would you, I guess, guide him into having a more, you know, putting the correct steps into place so he didn't end up going into college and doing all the degenerate activities? Would you introduce self improvement to him at an earlier age, or would you still let him go through and learn from the trial and tribulation?
That's a great question. And honestly, getting him on to self improvement early would be good because
Mhm.
a lot of the life lessons that I've learned through experiences, if I, yes, it gives me more of a reason to help young men, but also at the same time, it did help me lose years of progress that I could have made if I didn't engage in these degenerate activities because I wanted to fit in. So, to answer your question, I would instruct the younger version, the high
Mhm.
school version, to get into self improvement and make sure to have a vibrant social life because proper mental health is directly correlated to making an impact on the world. Hands down, the
Yeah.
top 1% of performers, everyone you see on YouTube, everyone you see that are millionaires, billionaires have the best mental health.
Yeah.
And they prioritize that mental health because that helps them increase their productivity and it helps them live a better, purposeful life.
Yeah.
So if I were to give advice to the high school version of me, I would say get on a self improvement early. Don't be afraid to talk to girls, right?
Mhm.
Make sure you have make sure you're not afraid because oh you're on self improvement, yeah, but you can
Mhm.
still talk to girls. That's still part of self improvement. You can hang out with friends and do stuff that is not degenerate. Like for example, if your friend wants to go, hiking, you can go hiking with them. I wouldn't consider that a waste of time because that is having a vibrant social life, which is good for your mental health, which helps you increase your productivity and pursue your passion more.
Mhm.
So yes, I would say get on self improvement early, have a vibrant social life, and talk to girls.
Great. Great. I like it. And I feel as though like the biggest problem in society is mental health. I feel like we're having a mental health epidemic or whatever how you say that fucking word. And yeah, bro, like society's set up for you to be weak at the moment. There's so much temptation everywhere you go, bro. Like, you scroll on the phone, you see the hoes, you see the bitches on the phone. Well, I'm gonna get canceled already, but fuck it. You see all that, and it's just like even the fucking food, bro. Red 40, all this bullshit in the food. It's like the world is set up for your failure. You gotta you gotta be mentally strong to realize that. And I think the ultimate form of mental health is awareness. Just being so aware of everything, why you're doing something, because most people go throughout the world uh like not even aware of what they're doing. They're just doing it because it's an option. We don't have enough critical thinkers. We have critical people who do whatever they feel like, but the reason they're doing it is because they're not thinking. And people just don't really spend the time to work on their mental health either because everybody's so distracted, bro. It's like attention. We had this conversation. I think we talked about this one time that um, attention is the ultimate form of currency. So whoever captivates your attention, uh, they steal something for you. They steal your energy. They steal your attention, and they can funnel you and make money off of you and just like all this shit. And I think people need to be more mentally aware, and that takes a lot of work, bro. Having mindfulness is like bro, it's the reason I say it's the ultimate form of mental health is because there's a lot of things that go into mindfulness. It's your health, your physical health, what you're eating, what you're doing, what you're consuming. And yeah, bro, I feel it's like that's the biggest problem in the world right now. Is just it's not really mental health. It's just no one's really aware of what they're doing and why they're doing things, or why they're doing this. It's brain dead brain activity consistently.
Exactly, bro. And what I would add to that is like every think about this, every person is a ball of energy, right? Every person
Hmm.
has a certain energy associated with them, right?
Yeah.
The energy could be related to, the trauma. It could be related to, childhood experiences, death of loved ones. They all account into your energy as a person, right?
Hmm.
So should be I know this is going to sound like, oh, like, he's just saying this, but your energy should be as positive as possible no matter the things that you're going through. It's
Yeah.
because if you want to make an impact on the world and live a purposeful life, and you want to have good mental health, you want to have good social life, your energy should be as positive as possible, because people feed off your positive energy, right?
Hmm.
If someone's being negative in your group, but you respond to them, instead of having an argument, you say, yo, bro, I understand where you're coming from, and this is how I
Yeah.
feel, and I feel like we could work this out,
Yeah.
versus saying, nah, bro, I don't agree with you, bro. I don't fuck with that.
Yeah.
Like, you see the negative energy, like the negative energy is
Yeah.
just it compounds. And you don't
Yeah.
want that, because it's bad for your mental health and it's bad for every single aspect of your life,
It's bad
right?
for other people
If
too.
you
Like
approach
you,
it with a positive life, then
yeah.
you're much more equipped to handle stressful situations.
Yeah, and you even like you've been through school and all too, bro. So it's like if you ever walk into class and your teacher's having a shitty day, that whole class gets affected by the energy. And I believe like energy is like a real thing. It's more like a spiritual thing, and I don't even think it's spiritual, bro. It's just real. You can feel when people are pissed off. You can feel when people are happy. You can feel when people are angry, bro. It's just part of being humans and like our emotions. And a big thing that I would tell my younger self is, bro, study stoicism. Because stoicism is the ultimate form of it is what it is, bro. Like you can't control everything around you, but what you can do is improvise, adapt, and overcome. That's all you can do, bro. Like when I was younger, I used to fall into traps of pointing fingers at stuff. And I realized when you point fingers at stuff, what you're doing is giving the thing or the situation the power.
Exactly.
And when you do that, bro, you become powerless. So how do we counteract that? Well, fuck it. All right, this happened. It is what it is. Well, what can I do? Can I solve the situation? Yeah. How much work is it gonna take? Decent amount. Okay, let me go do it. Like that's my mindset now. When I was younger, I used to be like, "Oh, this happened. I can't do it because of this, that. Fuck, I can't do it. It's too much work." It's like, no, bro. And what I realized is that there's a little bitch in everybody's brain, like a little. I don't even know what it is. I know a lot of people have it. It's like that pause that tells you, "Oh, this is bad. No, no, you got to kill that fucker as soon as possible, bro."
Exactly. And
And that takes years.
that's the reason why having having good mental health will give you more strategies. Your brain will be more equipped for you to develop systems for you to
Yeah.
be more positive, more productive, and get more work done. Like, imagine, like, let's take two guys, right? Let's take two guys. One guy has, bad mental health, but he really wants to get his life together. The other guy has
Hmm.
good mental health, but he wants to get his life together. That guy with good mental health will find a way to solve his problem. The guy with bad mental health will be stuck in his circle of, like,
Insanity.
in
Insanity.
insanity, basically. I
Yeah.
think of life as five circles, right?
Yeah.
Your mental capacity is directly correlated to how much progress you can make in life. And this is what I learned through just self introspection and, reading books, right? Your
Hmm.
life consists of different circles, right? So let's say there are five circles. I call the five circles of life, right? So you have
Hmm.
one, two, three, four, five. And most people, let's say one is family, love, brotherhood. Number two is, career, education. Number three is, purpose, entrepreneurship,
Hmm.
that stuff, right? So people who can see past these layers, like, for example, people who have limited mental capacity will only be in circle one. They won't be able to see to circle two and three. Whereas the
Yeah.
top 1% of people who want to make an impact, who want to live a purposeful life, and who want to change their lives will look
Hmm.
into circle 2 and 3, be like, okay, so I'm in circle 1 right now. I'm aware that I'm in circle 1. What can I do to get to circle 2 and 3?
Yeah.
And you make actionable steps. And the only way you can make actionable steps is having good mental health.
And seeing the
That is
long term
the core
vision too.
it's the core of good decision making.
Hmm.
And that's very underrated.
Yeah. One thing I also notice is the people who only are stuck at level one, they use emotion, and emotions a cloud of judgment. I say this all the time in my shorts. Like emotions, the ultimate cloud of judgment. It's like you're here, the bridge. There's a bridge, and there's an exit right here, and you're right here, bro. If there's a big ass cloud of fog, you're not gonna see the fucking exit. You're just gonna see the little bridge, and you're gonna be like, "Fuck, should I really take it? I don't know where this leads." Because I think like logic is such a blessing because it allows you to view yourself from the third person perspective, because a lot of people, bro, are very emotional. Like they're so emotional, which is it's great. I'm not saying don't have emotion and be like a fucking serial killer. Like, I mean, don't do that. But bro, logic is so underrated. And society hates people who think logical. I just see it all the time. I know you probably see it too. Like people who think logically are often like, they call them all these words and they fucking, all the stuff.
And
But
yeah, to be honest, yeah, like that's what I see in society nowadays. It is because I don't think people are educated enough or learn enough about the difference between when to use emotion and when to use logic. There's a fine line between using
yeah,
emotion and logic. You can beat emotion with logic. You have to beat
yeah,
emotion with emotion, and you have to meet logic with logic. So I feel like
yeah,
situational awareness of using
yeah,
when to use emotion. Okay, so let's say, for example, your mom is mad at you. You can't tell her like, oh, I am on, I want to buy this protein powder. Let's say your mom is against protein powder.
yeah,
You can't tell your mom, I want to buy this protein powder because it helps me get 30 extra grams of protein per day. No, 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 no. You can't say that. You got to say, hey, hello, mom. I understand where you're coming from, and I can
mhm,
completely, understand your concern. However, I feel that this is best for my workout, and I do feel that it will help me increase my muscle gains, and it will be better for my mental health. There's a
yeah,
difference in how I said that versus how I said the first thing, right?
yeah,
So the way you approach situations is very, very important, and
yeah,
this is I learned this the hard way through my life because there have been many situations where um, I had a lot of arguments with my family, and it was my immaturity that causes arguments. My parents are not going to change, right? Your parents are how they are. They're not going to change their character.
mhm,
They're not going to change who they are. But the way you approach it, if you meet the negativity with the positivity, like I said before, like if they're yelling at you, but you acknowledge that they're yelling at you and you acknowledge why they're yelling at you, and you say,
yeah,
okay, I understand, and then you spray positive energy.
yeah,
That is the key, and that will better your mental health as well. Because imagine having an
yeah,
improved family life, that will improve your mental health even
yeah,
more. Right? So
yeah,
always have this positive, mindset and positive sense of self, and that only comes through good mental health, which leads to good productivity, which leads to purpose, which leads
mhm,
to self-actualization, which is the fifth need. So that's Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Self-actualization is the highest level you can attain, and it starts with good mental health. That is the root of
yeah,
everything.
yeah. And it's funny how you say like when people are acting like emotional, like the way you word it, because that's what we learned. That's why I learned from doing sales. Like the only way to get somebody to like if someone's yelling at me, like I used to have sales calls, and people used to come on and yell at me and be like, "Oh, why do I need this? Why do I need this?" And I say, "Oh, I understand." And that what that does is that gets their guard from here and it lowers it like insanely. And this is human psychology. So they're like, I see a lot of people just arguing like with their family members and shit. And I'm just like, bro, it's like if you're like, this might get me in a lot of trouble, but like if you're a man, that shit's corny. It's just corny, bro. Like don't fucking use your don't use your emotions for yourself, use it for your family. Like don't okay, cool, you're mad, bro, but like if you yell at your family, it's not gonna do it. It's gonna make it worse. It's like, what the
Exactly.
fuck are you doing? It's like trying to fucking like have there's a fire and you're like, oh, I'm gonna pull out this fire. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna grab a fucking flamethrower and shoot the fire with the fire. It's like you're a fucking retard, bro. What are you doing? You're not doing nothing productive.
It's kind of like a wildfire started, but you add wind to it. Of course, it's gonna
Yeah,
spread, right?
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
and
Exactly.
speaking of, like, you said that you use like you use this kind of topic, or it helped you in sales. Like, so what got you into sales, and like what um kind of inspired your passion in sales?
Bro, honestly, I had a lot of events leading up to this, but within 1 year, so I was an orphan for like a long time. Probably like I became an orphan at 9. I kind of got like kicked on the street and told to go fuck off, and I was like, bro, okay, I'm gonna go fuck off. I'm gonna go find somewhere to live. I walked to my grandmother's house, and she took care of me for a long time, and that caused a lot of problems, bro, because I didn't grow up with a father figure, so that caused a lot of bro. It just was bad. It was really bad. I grew up with my grandmother, my aunt, and my uncle and my cousins, who basically were my brothers. I still talk to them, but I lived past there. I went to high school, all that shit, and then I decided when I was like 16 or 17, my mother came back into my life, and I kind of was like, I don't know, it was weird, and I became very emotional because I didn't have any like processes stuck in mind, so I decided to go back with my mom, and then yeah, bro, I went back with my mom, and my grandmother died. Like I had to watch it too, which is like it was interesting. It probably sounds weird, but it's interesting seeing that happen in real life because it really puts into perspective that your body's a temple, and it's really weird. But I got like depressed. I was like, I just got out of high school. I graduated. Had to get a job. I got a job. Worked at a warehouse. Bro, all these adults that I worked with were extremely emotional people, stressful environment. I made the mistake of going there and actually working really hard, which put more pressure on me, and I was expected to do more and all this shit. My friend sent me over a link to a course called Closer Cartel. And bro, I had no money, bro. I had like, cause I used to get a check and I used to spend it. 'Cause I was a retard. I still am, but yeah. Um, it was $3,000, and I decided to buy the course and quit my job. I was like, bro, I don't want to do this no more. I don't care if it does work, if it works or it doesn't work. I don't care. It is what it is. I'm just gonna go make this happen. So I quit my job. I was broke for like 6 months trying to make it happen. I landed a really good position and I became a sales manager like 6 months down the line. And bro, it came from frustration. That's all it really came from. It came from like, bro, like it came from like 9 to 5 it isn't for me, bro. When I was a kid, I always used to have these like ideas of like making money online. That was just my path. I was like, bro, I don't know how the fuck I'm gonna do it. I wanted to be a YouTuber originally. I used to play fucking Roblox. I used to upload videos, and I was like, bro, I'm gonna become a gaming YouTuber. I'm gonna play Call of Duty, and I was like, you know, I always want to make money online, and sales turned that into reality. So I got into it, and yeah, I left sales a few months ago to pursue the personal brand, but I'm going back into it. But sales generally changed my life and saved my life. I went from making $2,000 a month all the way up to 6 to 11K a month within the few months, which is fucking unrealistic, bro. And a lot of people say, "Oh, you're scamming this, that, and the third." I'm like, bro, it just comes down to the higher value your skill is, the higher you're going to get paid. We live in a skill-based society, so the more value you can provide, especially to a business owner, bro. If I'm closing a deal at $7,500, I'm getting 15%. Bro, that's valuable to him because all he has to do is sit back and collect the cash, and I just have to close it for him and get a commission. So I'm like, bro, I kept on doing it, and yeah, I love it so
Exactly.
much.
And that's impressive, man. First of
Yeah,
all, I want to say like huge congrats for
yeah,
really lifting up that, bro. You
yeah,
that This is an example of how you channel all
yeah,
that trauma, all that built up emotion into something
yeah,
productive, right? This is
yeah,
the prime example of that. And
Yeah.
speaking of sales, what would you say is like the most important skill that you've learned throughout your time in sales? And what would you advise a beginner to do if he wanted to get into sales?
What I would say, bro, is stop focusing on the fucking commission. Stop focusing on the money, bro. Your job as a salesperson is just to help the person, guide them into the decision. Like that's when I first started, I had commission breath. It's like a real thing. It's like I want to fucking close this guy because I need money and I want to go do this and do that. And then when I, that's just me being young. I'm still young, but like I was like, bro, my job as a salesperson isn't to sell everybody because everybody doesn't need what we're selling. Some people just need to be guided on what decision to take. So a lot of it changed when I've realized that people buy off emotion, not logic. And bro, even like the offer I did was business funding. So I used to hop on calls with multi-million-dollar CEOs and all that. It was like really, I went from being 18 to being a fucking little crackhead to hopping on calls with business owners. And my biggest realization is no matter how logical the discussion of the topic seems, there's always an emotional side to it. So leverage emotion from people to help them guide them to make a decision. So when I used to start sales, I used to like, so do you think like this would work for you? I used the word think. And I was like, yeah, John. So do you feel that like this would work for you? It would change. It would make them have emotion. And that's important in real life, bro. Like when you learn sales, you learn how the brain works. And the brain, from a human, from my perspective, is heavily emotionally based. A logic is like a skill. Emotion's already programmed into you. I don't know why. It's just the curse of being a human.
Yeah, man. Honestly, like, you know, I when I see all these like sales and when I see everything, I see how salesmen do it. And the
Mm.
one thing is, man, being able to be relatable is one of the most
Yeah,
important things. Like especially when you're trying to close a deal or when you're trying to sell,
yeah,
being relatable is one of the best skills to have in sales. And I
yeah,
know you can attest to this, like how like being positive and being
yeah,
approachable to that person and kind of relating to their own situation. Like for example, if you're selling a
yeah.
coaching package, then you know, and if it's like let's say for mental health, you should be able to kind of relate to the person that you're on call with. And
Mm-hmm.
be like, okay, I understand you're
Definitely.
going through this, I understand you're doing this, and this is
Yeah,
what we can help. And the moment you do that, the moment you're sure that it can help that person, and the moment you see that, the moment you envision
yeah,
yourself doing that, that's when you'll be
yeah.
successful.
Because I realized this too. Like the reason why people don't close deals is because it's like, bro, if you had like a friend, like, okay, this guy's a cool guy, but I wouldn't do business with him because he doesn't understand the situation. But once, bro, everybody thinks they're special. That's such an important thing. No matter how many times you solve the same situation, all people want from like the buyer side, not the closer side, is them. Like if you were selling me, all I would need to buy from you is to make sure that you understand my situation the best possible. That's it. If you did that, bro, I would pull out my wallet and give you my card. That's it. Such a crucial skill.
It is, yeah. And speaking of like, so right now you say you're planning to get back into sales and your
Yeah.
personal brand. So how do you envision your life 5 to 10 years from now, and what steps are you taking to go to that level?
Number one, millions of dollars. Number two, bro, it's just consistency. That's it. Like it's just having daily KPIs that I know if I do this for 10 years straight, I'll get to where I want to be. I don't think in days, I don't think in months, I think in decades. And that's really crucial for people to think, even though it might, because if you think in decades, you'll get there faster too. Like, what can I do every day? So for me right now, like I've been uploading shorts for the past 4 days and we're about to reach 20,000 views from literally 0 to 20,000 within a few days. And for me to be successful and for me to spread my word, it's just me hyping on the camera, recording what's on my mind, editing shorts, posting 2 to 4 a day. Every single day, no exceptions, no breaks, no crying about it, just going and fucking doing it. And then I guess from 5 to 10 years, I see myself in a nice little house in the Poconos. Like I just want to go live in the Poconos, fucking middle of nowhere. Um, I don't even want materialism, bro. I don't want none of that. I just want my word to be spread and for people to take it and utilize it. I don't give a fuck about cars or watches. I've been through that phase, bro. It doesn't do nothing for me. What does something for me is when I wake up, I fucking stay up until 2 in the morning working on content, and then I get a comment, "Yo, bro, I really need this." The perspective shifted my mental, bro. That's worth more than any watch has. I had watches, bro. They don't really none of that material shit does anything for me. All I need is a good computer, a good phone, and the internet, and I'm happy, bro. That's it.
Exactly, and this comes down to a concept that I learned, just from pursuing entrepreneurship and reading books about it. It's a concept called purpose over profit, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, let's say you're doing some business model, some drop shipping business model that you don't really want to do, but you need the money. Yes, you can
Yeah.
earn the money, but at the same time, you're not going to be satisfied. You're not going to be your purpose is not going to be fulfilled. If you can find a way to monetize your purpose, and you can find a way to merge the money, the desire to earn money with the purpose that you truly want to achieve, then
Mm-hmm.
there's no better combo. And you found that out. You were like,
Yeah.
my purpose, correct me if I'm wrong, but my purpose is help young men out, right?
Yeah.
And figure out, and help them with their difficulties. And
Yeah.
you found a way to merge that with content. And now you're recording
Yeah.
content, you're speaking your mind out, and it's genuinely changing lives. And that's a
Yeah.
purposeful skill.
Yeah. And I feel as though like I see a lot of young kids, especially like 15 through like 13 through 15 through 17. They're like, I gotta make 10K a month. I gotta make 10K a month. Brother, you haven't even experienced $10,000 worth of life yet. You don't have to make 10K, bro. And I see it's like an epidemic of like kids wanting to make a shit ton of money just for the sake of being money, for having money. And I was on a call with this one individual who was 15. Like he had reached out to me and we hopped on a call. I was like, bro, if you want to make fucking millions of dollars, you got to become the man who's worthy of making $1 million. If you chase something, that implies that it's running away from you, which means you'll never catch up to it. You shouldn't, when you want to make $10,000, you shouldn't be like, where's the money? Let me go find it. No, bro, money moves like water. It's like a flow. That's why I call it cash flow. Because you gotta stand in the middle of the water so it'll flow through you. That's how you get money, bro. You don't chase if you go chase the flow of the river, bro, by the time you catch up, it's gonna be all the way down here. Don't chase money, bro. That's not going to get you. That's going to lead to misery, and insanity, bro. You got to just become the person worthy of $10,000 a month. You got to become. And bro, first of all, if you didn't even make 1,000 online, why the fuck are you trying to make 10? Make $300, bro, in one
It's
month.
it's kind of like the concept of like when you go to the gym. It's like
Yeah,
you can't expect to, like, let's say you're like your bench is like 115. You can't
yeah.
expect the bench like 145, 155, like, just like
Just cause, yeah,
because you thought of it, and just because you're like,
yeah,
oh, I'm gonna make it happen. No, no, no. You
yeah,
gotta you gotta go. It's called progressive overload, right? You gotta
yeah,
progressively overload. You gotta aim for 1K. Once you get to 1K, and then you can scale up from there. And
yeah.
that's the same thing. I think that's what people mistake now with goals. And this is what I found by, life experience and reading books is they set themselves too high of a goal that they can't achieve. And that demotivates them to the point where
Mm-hmm.
they can't pursue that goal. For example, a 16-year-old wants to make 10K a month, but he hasn't even made his first dollar. So, and then he puts 10K a month on his goal, like on his wall, and he's going to look at that every day and be like, bro, I haven't even made my first dollar yet. And that's going to
Yeah.
discourage him, right? You
Mm-hmm.
need momentary um, self reflections to see that you're making progress. Like if you set yourself a goal of 1K a month, and then you're already, let's say, at $500, then you're like, oh, so I'm already at 500. Okay, so I only got 500 more to go. This is good. Like I'm making progress, right? And that's
Mm-hmm.
positive reinforcement towards getting to that 1K. But if you set the 10K and you made 1K, then you're like, oh shit, I got 9 more K to go. No, 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 I
Yeah.
gotta go, right?
Exactly. Exactly. Now I feel like it's like tarnishing the youth a little bit because everybody wants to be a fucking millionaire, and realistically, bro, there's not that much money to go around. Like people say, oh, there's enough money, bro. No, the people who are gonna make the most money are the people who are making themselves worthy of the money. And once you realize that, bro, you'll make the money, bro. Stop trying to chase shit. Like that's my biggest mistake when I was younger. Like even like I wanted to be a content creator when I was younger, bro. So what I decided to do, try to hop on every single fucking trend that ever exists. The moment, bro, the past 4 days, I think I did the most views than like any of my YouTube videos. Like I think my most viewed YouTube video when I was younger was probably like 30,000 views, 40,000 views. And bro, I'm gonna hit that in the next 3 days because I'm just being raw and being authentic, bro. Being authentic will get you to where you want to be, not you trying to become like, bro. Realistically, these kids didn't want to become entrepreneurs until they saw someone else do it. It's like, think, bro, think. Use the brain, use the noggin.
Exactly. And long gone are the days where you just be like, oh, hey guys, this is my YouTube video. Like,
Yeah,
I think people now more than ever are looking for authenticity. They're looking for someone they can relate to. And that's why
yeah,
relatability is a skill in any industry. It doesn't matter if it's sales, doesn't matter if it's YouTube, doesn't matter, you're selling, like whatever it is, you need to be relatable to other people for you to make an
mhm,
impact. And I think
yeah,
that's one of the biggest takeaways from this.
yeah. Just, bro, just if you wanna realistically, bro, if you being authentic to yourself is fucking looking at the camera talking about Star Wars, bro, go do that shit, bro. Go do it. Go do it. Like
Bro,
if
I guarantee you, bro, there's a channel for every single interest, bro. I
yeah,
guarantee you, like, bro, there's channels for like I don't know, like if you're interested in dragons, bro, there's fucking channels on YouTube that fucking show dragons that are animated and it has like
yeah,
5K subscribers, bro. Like
yeah, yeah,
it doesn't matter.
yeah,
Like whatever your authentic, genuine interest is, just go for it. Like at this
yeah,
point, you to whoever's watching this, there's nothing to lose. There's
yeah,
nothing to lose. Like you literally, if you have you're not putting any money down, you're not like gathering inventory, you're not, like spending hours and hours. You just turn on a camera, record yourself, speak your mind, post
yeah,
it, and
yeah.
make an impact.
That's why
Period.
we're called professional yappers because we just yap
Exactly.
consistently, and it's just real, bro. Like this is like I noticed this, and we had this conversation. Like whenever I go to talk to somebody, we end up on the fucking phone for 2 hours, 3 hours, and it's just like, bro, it's because I'm a professional yapper. Um, and yeah, bro, like me being authentic, bro, is just like fucking hype on camera. I talk about whatever I feel like too. Like if I just, it don't matter. Because what I think the biggest obsession I have right now is just the brain, bro. Like why do we do things? What was programmed? And I realized, bro, like a lot of bad habits people have are a cause or an effect, whatever. It's a cause because of a thing that happened to them in the past. And it's like, bro, it's so interesting. So for me right now, I just been obsessing over the human brain, bro. Like that's why I yap on the camera and yap on the Instagram. It's just real. It's authentic.
Exactly, and people can relate to it. Like
Yeah.
you're not gonna be able to relate to a guy who like does like all these fancy edits and fucking
Yeah.
flashy shit like pop
Yeah.
up, right? You're gonna want to have a conversation. You're gonna when let's say you're having a bad day and you scroll and you find a guy that you can actually relate to. You see that he's talking authentically, no edits,
Yeah.
completely
Yeah.
unfiltered. You can relate to his experience. I guarantee you the YouTubers that have been successful now are as authentic as you possibly can be because the
Yeah.
authenticity is what people can relate to, right? Like, for example, since you were authentic, you got comments saying, bro, like, I needed this, bro. So people
Mhm.
genuinely need this advice. Like,
Yeah.
that's what helps you, grow your personal brand and make an
Yeah.
impact, right? Just being authentic. I
Yeah.
think that's where 2024 is headed to and towards the future too.
Yeah.
Like I think
Yeah.
2016, 2017, it was like, drop shipping SMMA. And,
Yeah.
2020, 2021, it was the same thing. And now 2024, I feel like is the year of personal brands. I feel like if you want to
Yeah.
build that personal brand and you want to be as authentic and you want to monetize and pursue you, and if you feel that's your purpose, then go right ahead.
Bro, go for
All
it.
you need
Yeah.
is a camera. You don't need any fancy
Yeah.
equipment. You just need a
Bro, this is all you need right here, your phone, bro. You can do everything off of this. You can edit the videos, record the videos, do everything, bro. And I worked with one of the guys who like worked with Andrew Tate. with personal branding, and it's just like, bro, influence is more valuable than money. It is like, bro, you think having, bro, I'd rather have 10,000 loyal people than $10,000 because
Exactly.
them loyal people are cult like following crazy. They will,
Exactly.
bro, because what you can do with 10,000 loyal people is you can charge them each $100 a month. What's $10,000 going to do for you? It's just $10,000.
Exactly. And money, you can just spend it right then. Like if
Yeah,
you don't try magic, you can just spend the $10,000 are gone. But 10,000 followers can be taken away from you unless you fuck up
yeah,
yourself.
yeah,
Those 10,000 followers that you're gonna have by your side will literally come to war with you. Like
yeah,
they are your loyal fans. So if you need any help or if there's anything going on, those 10,000 people will show up right away, and that's way more valuable because you're actually
yeah,
making an impact rather
yeah,
than having 10K in the bank. The 10K in the bank
yeah,
could be gone tomorrow, and the 10K could be it's worthless now. It's gone.
yeah,
You can spend it in the
yeah.
flash of an eye.
I feel like people just, I don't know. I feel like people value money. Like people value money too much now, bro. Like they just like, it's weird because I feel like the world is getting really isolated. Like people are more isolated and more money focused. I think it should be the other way around, bro. Be more people focused and more like, bro, fucking network, bro. That's how me and you met. We networked on a fucking group, bro. Like,
Exactly.
bro, go and make this shit happen, bro. Just fucking be approachable, be real, be authentic, and then you can have shit like this happen. Like, bro, it's it's just, bro, just do it. Just do it. Like we can sit here and talk about it all day, but like it's an experience. It's just you gotta experience it more than ever. Like fucking seeing like 30,000 views is fucking crazy within like 4 or 5 days, and I'm just like, bro, shit, I can't stop now. I gotta keep on going. I need a
Exactly.
million views. I need
The
2 million
momentum.
views.
Once you get momentum, like all you
Yeah,
need is momentum. Then everything is,
yeah.
from there it's easy on.
It's as easy as ever to grow a personal brand too. Like I feel like if you don't hop on it now, you're never gonna hop on it because it's gonna be harder. It's gonna be harder. So you just upload on TikTok once a day, bro. TikTok will feed you right into the algorithm. You're cool, bro. You're fine. Just keep on uploading
Exactly.
every single day.
And
Every
that's
single
that
day.
and that's your ticket out. And that's your
Yeah.
ticket out of whatever situation you want to be in. So if you're in a situation right now where you want to escape and you want to find yourself a way out, and you're determined to work for it, and this doesn't come easy, you have to work for it, but this is your ticket out, and all it takes is to record. Literally just
Yeah.
record and post. That's it.
Yeah.
And just speak your mind, be authentic, and you'll find yourself a ticket out. This is literally your ticket out of whatever situation you're in. And it's honestly never been easier than before
Hmm.
because everything is digital nowadays and you can take full advantage of it.
Yeah. And I think the biggest advice I can give to somebody starting is underthink, over deliver. Don't think too much about it. Just go do it. Go do it, bro. I fucking when I recorded my first few shorts a few days ago, I didn't think about it. I just did it. I feel like I have a short coming out today where I'm like, why do you think stupid people win? It's because they're fucking stupid and they don't think and they just do shit. That's why they win. They don't, because logic is a curse too, bro. Because if you sit there and overthink about shit, you're not gonna upload. You're like, oh, this video's ass, bro. Fuck it. It is what it is. I'll make a better one tomorrow. I just gotta be consistent. Consistency builds skill and discipline, and I can outperform the people who upload 3 good shorts a week by uploading 2 to 4 a day for 10 years. I'll destroy them in competition because I'll keep on being consistent. Best way to think.
100%.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We did. I think we did good for the first episode. I think this is good. This is really good.
This is really good, man. I appreciate you
Fucking
having me on, bro.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's see if I know how to end the recording. I do. That's good. Let's stop.